Hi, my name is Terry. I'm your boy Terry. My username across the internet is surpassing Google, and I am a legitimate illiterate. And this is going to be a series. I'm just starting it, and I'm going to be passing a message across as a legitimate illiterate to as many people as possible. People whose journey I've been in, whose evolution I've witnessed and paid attention to. Basically, here's my message to them. In this particular video, it's a message to Tiwa Savage. Tiwa Savage is a star hailing from Nigeria, a music star, and amongst the few females that are, amassing limelight, hailing from Nigeria. She's a very good music artiste, and kudos to her on that front. She has amazing music. There are tons of songs of hers that I've listened to over the years from the outset of her career in music. From those times she used to be in UK. Love me, love me, love me, love me. Yeah. Na 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 na. To her recent song, not too recent but quite recent, the one that relieved Fela, that 49.99, passengers in the bus. I think a 49-seater bus but holding 99 people, where she talked about some of the underlying tenets that exist in the politics and in the Nigerian system as a whole. Kudos to her. There's so much depth in her music, even in the very simple music. The arrangement of her lines, the melody, the context. Especially when she uses broken English. The complexity of the context, even in this very simple lyrics. World standards, things like broken English are labeled as things of illiteracy. But underlyingly, these things are so much complex, more so than the current words of the dictionary can, depict. These words are weak, to really depict the context surrounding the message in the Tiwa Savage songs, even regardless of how simple looking they are. So song-wise, I see a measure of depth. She has capacity for depth. I see down to earthness. I see that she ponders, pays attention to the true state of the world. We're not talking the painted world. I've watched her evolution, through music. I mentioned the earlier music until now, where she's starting to, create music that carries consciousness. I see all that, and very much kudos to her on that front. But, as generations go by, now where this is my message to her, she has more room for evolution. She has potential for greatness, but she's quite losing it. This is understandable because we live in a painted world. You need stubborn genes. You need to maintain humanhood. And in the face of accolades, adulation, you really need stubborn genes to be able to maintain these aspects of you. I'd like Tiwa Savage to keep evolving, lose out on some of the shallowness. There is a measure of shallowness, so because looking at her music, it's not comparable to her person. I've listened to interviews, of her, and she's not on that level, that level where she's supposed to be in terms of the substance of her human. She has greatness in her underlying. It may be attaining redundancy in the face of, all these accolades and adulation, but you can tap into that. That's where your beauty lies, not in your facial beauty, not in your twerks, more in the substance of your human, as you have shown in your music. For you to relate with Fela tells me that there is greatness there. It was no joke. Yes, he was smoking weed. He wasn't smoking weed on the level of the Naira Marleys. He was smoking I don't smoke and I don't, encourage it, but I know the context surrounding where he was at. We're talking spiritual, going into deep places, isolation, ponder, wonder, enlightenment. So it was no joke. He had greatness in him, and you may not be able to sit on the same chair as a Sheon Kuti in conversation. You're no longer young. You're elderly to a large extent. It's not time to talk. What's in sex? There's shallowness there. When you look at it from deep angles. And you're bigger than all that. I'm telling you the truth, and it's high time you look in that direction. You're deeper than all that. That depth does exist. Tap into it. Let's find a woman that's great. That has substance, and we're talking deeply rooted substance. You're attaining that stage of womanhood where circumstance shouldn't shake you. You can walk the room, fill the room with your presence, make the room halt because your presence filled it. You have swag and all that. These things are innate. They didn't come from a place of shallowness. They came from your stories and histories. These are things that you have. It's showcased in your music. All those swag, all this, those identities, staunch identity and personality that's unique to you. Those things come from a place of depth. I feel that this should tally with who you constitute as a person. In your you're bigger than all these small boys. You're bigger than that, and yes, it's not even an African thing. Say that you want to leave your oh, Africa, leave me, I want to live my life. It's not even an African thing. We're talking human thing. Woman thing. There's no feminism here. We're just talking typical woman. There are stages of evolution where you get there, and you have a particular kind of courage. Because you have seen things, and when you have really seen things, many things become ordinary. What's sex? There's a cap or limit to it. You can't do 25 rounds of it. It's tiresome. What's parties? You can't drink Alamo for 24/7. He will crumble. You can't swallow buckets of ice cream. When you look at life critically, there is a cap to all this fun. So you get to a stage where you want to leave outer space and return down to earth. And I feel that is the stage you are at in your career and the scheme of things. And you should start to look there. I want to hear conversations, where you put the small boys in their place. You can talk of sex, but in different levels, So anyway, that's my message. Let me stop here. Let me not go in too deep. You have everything it takes to be great. There's a rarity in the great women industry and great men industry, especially as generations proceed, technological advancement and all that. We're losing out on potential for greatness, especially Nigerians. So much greatness lies in Nigeria. And the only generation that can save this is your generation, perhaps my generation. The newer generations are getting lost, following people into outer space, Shokoto, leaving that Shokoto. And you're the saving grace, this generation. That's where the generations of our parents were great. We're losing out on that. So your essence in this regard is grand. So tap into that Shokoto back, and let's stem greatness from Nigeria. That's what is in Nigeria. It's not skyscrapers, it's not luxury building, it's not those long nails and all that. Gosh, those are old school stuff. The world is attaining a limit when it comes to these things. Okay, social media, very soon it will fade. Let's go back to that so-called dirt. Those things labeled. An Agbero in Nigeria labeled illiterate. He will sell a Mark Zuckerberg or a Bill Gates. You know, in his deeply rooted core, there's greatness there. May this give you lyrics. Please create a lyric surrounding this premise and let's go. I'm your boy Terry. Make sure to stay awesome. My username across the internet is Surpassing Google. If you want to read more about me, there's going to be a publication underneath in the description that you can read. It's 70-minute read. Stay awesome.